Hi, this is Amy Shannon from Exposed Mobility Impaired Denied. And today's episode is going to be showing you a few things that I have had to convert to adapt with. Um, so I was, to make things easier and so I don't make a bigger mess for someone else. My first thing, and you probably with videos have seen me use this cup. It's my coffee cup. It is, I was up until my son got me these great tumblers, beautiful tumblers for wine. I was using this metal cup. It's got a lid and it closes. So if you drop it, unless the lid comes off, it doesn't really spill, might leak a little. And I can hold on to it with two hands. Um, my son also bought me a heat, like keep your coffee warm type of heater, and it works really well. And see if I can, there we go. It's not much, but this is better than the one I had before. This one plugs into the wall. The one I had before was USB, and it only worked um, when your computer was on, obviously, but it only heated up the bottom. So the bottom, because this is metal, um, was getting hot. And then if you picked it up and you touched the bottom, you actually burned yourself. And I know that from experience. But with this one, I don't know what's different about it, except it plugs into the wall. It actually disperses the heat much better. I know it's probably made for mainly like, coffee mugs or, ceramic mugs or glass or whatever. Um, but it can also be used for, I have, if I have to go out, like a metal, to go cup, coffee cup, it's metal. It'll retain heat. And if you're drinking something cold, it'll do that with cold. So there's that. And it keeps my coffee cold. I bought these on Amazon and it comes in a set of two. So since now I got my new wine cups, I have I use two for coffee and I use two for like hot tea. Um, and I've tried different ways to decorate them, but once you put it in the dishwasher, that decoration goes away. I've painted them and then put a like try to make it more, I don't know, fancy or just artistic and unplain because I don't really like plain. I don't go for plain. But and then I even used a sealant and put it in dishwasher. It was gone. So anyway, stickers, even vinyl ones, they're gonna wash right off. And then you'll just get left with that like adhesive stuff that you have to use like nail polish remover and scrape it and all that stuff. So if you want a decorative coffee mug, then buy a decorative one that's not going to something that you don't have to customize yourself because it's not going to work. Unless you have some magic paint that won't wash off, which is great. I've used paint pens, I've used acrylic paint brushes, and then used sealant, and that still did not work. But it's just a cup. It's plain, but it gives me what I need. My daily Java. So with that said, right now I'm heating up a coffee. My next thing is um, I have a cup for water. Um, my son bought me this. Actually, bought me two of them. I use one for water and one for juice. Um, and what I like, uh, it's metal. And if you have it closed tight, like here, if you drop it, and I have done this, and it only spills, it might just drip. If you have it open where you can sip from it, or if you can use a straw, I can't. Um, once in a while, it's not terrible if I sip slowly, but because I had gastric bypass surgery, I can't because it'll put a lot of air in my system. Anyways, so if you, it has a place for a straw if you wanted one, but you can also sip from it. And it's metal, and I didn't have to design it, and it works perfect. And when you keep it in the refrigerator, just keep pouring water into it, it stays cold. Now there is something else, and it's inside here, and these are only my own fingers. Actually, I'm going to use this spoon here. Now, these, and this is for anybody. No one wants a watered down drink. Basically, I bought a set of cubes, they're various colors, and you freeze them. You use them like ice cubes. Now, obviously, you don't care if you have watered down water, but uh, if, say, you're adding, you want your water to stay colder longer, you just pop them in. I have a little bowl in my freezer. I wash them, throw them in, and when I need them, I have them. And they're great. I mean, you don't get watered down drinks. If my wine is too warm, I use it for that, and you don't get watered down wine. I have to drink watered down wine, but that's something else. Actually, I just add sparkling grape water to my wine, half and half. And I get sparkling grape water and enjoy my wine. Because if I drink my wine straight, it goes right to my head, and I don't like being tipsy or anything like that. I get enough of that from my pills. Anyway, so my next thing is, now I love this. Now I love it because it has unicorns on it. Also, I got this from the Dollar General. Yes. I saw it and I'm like, oh, I love it because it has unicorns. I love unicorns. And it has, you use it for water or juice. Um, since I have my metal cups, this I usually use when I'm going out. But I like that also you might not be able to see it really well, but it has grips here. So, and it's, you can grip it, especially if you have weakness in your hands. And it is just amazing. Another thing that I want to point out is that, excuse me, I am not being sponsored by anyone. And, I'm not getting, my videos aren't monetized. I don't have much subscribers or whatever. And that's not what I'm doing. I want to share ways to help other people. And I thought, well, there's a lot of stuff that I do to make life easier for me, to get around, to eat, um, to cook, things like that. Um, next, so there's that. Um, I went to this website and I can't remember for the life of me the name of it, but like I had did a search for, you know, um, accessibility aids, for disabled persons. Now there was one, and a lot of the products that they showed on this website were priced pretty high if you bought them directly from the website, and probably because of the brand or whatever. So, with that, I looked to see what I could, like, they look, oh, I could use that. That might be helpful. Um, Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. And try to find a way to have the similar product, but like bought at a more inexpensive price. Not just because I'm cheap, and I am, um, and but because you don't need, if there are things that other things can do for you and it's inexpensive and it's helpful, there you go. One of my issues, well, when I eat, I have to use a plastic bowl or plastic plate. Depending on what I'm eating, I have a cheap plastic plate that has a lip around it. And I have they're called these great plates. And they make about a bunch of different types, and they're like made out of plastic and wheat something. I forgot what they're called, but they're great plastic plates, very durable. They wash well. They have a good lip on it, so that way if you have like a sauce or gravy or something, um, you want to dip something in on your plate without it leaking off, these are great for that. They have bowls and larger plates that eventually I want to save up for and get. Um, I use plastic bowls, and um, sometimes I use a fork. If I'm eating, what I really want to find is an unbreakable ramen bowl that has the chopsticks with it, because the only ones I could find are the ceramic ones. And the minute I drop it, it's going to smash. And it doesn't have to be plastic, but it has to be to, if I dropped it on the floor, it wouldn't break. So, and I know there are some types of different, I don't want to say stoneware or whatever, that don't break, but if you know of a brand that would not break if I dropped it, I mean, I do get help carrying my food from my trays or the stove or the counter to where I'm going to sit at the table. But I'm a big fan of, rice noodles and ramen noodles and things like that. And my daughter-in-law has a great collection of these ceramic ones. And I thought they're just so cool. And it's a big bowl, and you feel like you're eating out or whatever. So I'm still on a hunt for that. I bought bowls, and they're small, and they do not hold even the serving size that I use. I don't have a large serving size. I have a smaller one, but um, they didn't work. So I'm like, anybody who wants to use them, go ahead. So going to my next thing. So in here is water. I added just a touch of green paint because water is clear and you might not be able to see it on camera. So I am going to I have the water, and then I have one of my regular serving spoons. So when I hold it, I shake. And if you look, it's just a regular spoon. So if I try not to spill this on me, use this, see it in the water. And if I shake, like I am doing right now, it will spill. So that aside, now I have these great Japanese soup spoons. Use them for ramen or a bunch of other stuff. And they have such like a well that's so deep. So by first I can have more liquid, and even if I shake a little, it would take a lot of shaking to empty my spoon. And these I recommend for anyone who likes their soup. When I am having soup and I have noodles in it, um, I actually I'll take a fork and put some of my noodles in the spoon because it's easier to grab the noodles, or I use chopsticks to move it. And then it's easier for me to eat the noodles with the broth. But it works very well. So that is one thing that I recommend for anybody, especially if you're a big fan of ramen or soup. Um, those are remarkable. I have metal ones, and I had that plastic bowl set I was telling you about that I didn't really like the bowl. It came with two plastic ones, which are nice too. They'll last quite a long time. I've told everybody in my household, if you have soup, you want to use one of those spoons. I got like a set of 12 on Amazon for like under $6. Um, you can get them pretty much, you do a search for them and you can find them. And sometimes they come within a set, like I've mentioned. Um, my last thing that I'm going to talk about today, well, there is one more thing. There was this um, lift, and it was like a round thing, about this high, and then you set your plate in it. Now, I tried it to see if that would help lift up my food. Um, it came with a glass plate, which obviously was not very helpful for me. Um, and I try to use a bowl or something. And it just got to be where it wasn't very helpful for me, but it may be helpful for someone else, lifting up their meals so they're closer to it. Um, so that's something that I use. I didn't like. I end up getting rid of it. Um, I have a cup that I got from a winery in Old Forge. And what I liked about the cup, actually, a wine slushy came into this that was awesome. And it had a straw, but I didn't use it. It's got a slidable thing, and I like that it is durable and it screws on. It just doesn't pop up like some of the most of the other types of cups. So if you use that, you won't be spilling your wine slushy. You could use it for whatever you wanted, actually. Basically you pay for the cup when you get the wine, and it's very small little winery in Old Forge, New York. But if you're ever there, it's amazing. We try to go. We went one year, and hopefully we'll be able to go again um, soon, because it's beautiful in the Adirondacks of upstate New York. Sometimes you have to accept the beauty and embrace it. So, there are things I have used to help me get around. Like I said, I have a grabber. It's very sturdy. I bought it, I think I got it on Amazon. It folds up and it's very big. And the grabber is, we've used it for things that like fall behind the refrigerator or in between the stove and the refrigerator. Uh, things that fall behind your bed and you can't reach. I'm always picking up my unicorns with it because they fall underneath my bed. They're on a shelf back on my bed. I have also, um, when I started falling out of bed, I notified my doctor and they wrote a script for me for a hospital bed. And what I like about the hospital bed, first, the mattress is very comfortable. Not all hospital beds are comfortable, but the mattress they gave me it was brand new and comfortable. It's actually kind of one of those old-fashioned ones too, where if you wanted your bed higher, you have this crank. I don't use that. I just put the crank away. I like the fact that I have railings, and I like that they stay cold. So when I'm hot, especially my hands get hot because of my arthritis, I'll actually just put my hand on the railing and it will help cool them off. I really like that. But also, it's adjustable bed. You can go up or down, your feet up, your feet down, and I can just relax and watch TV or just read or something like that. And it is very helpful. I do recommend that if you're in it a long time, sometimes if I'm sitting in it a lot during the day, I actually put another pillow, not that one that I use for my head, but one underneath where I'm sitting on it. So that way you don't get this big divot, where your bottom is and you're watching when you're sitting there for long periods of time. And also, I recommend that every time you clean your bedding, you also flip your mattress, um, back and forth. That way you don't get that unevenness of where you're sitting. So, I mean, I have pillows and that I use for one side because I've been known to hit the one that's against the wall. And I use cheap bamboo bed trays. Sometimes I use the legs, other times I don't. It's great I can put my remotes there. I can put my book there. I can even put a drink there. I have one I use for my Surface. So if I'm kind of in a mood where I'm not doing much and just kind of vegging out, watching TV or reading, I can still keep track of my email and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you a little bit about my wheelchair. I know I've done it in the past, but this is kind of giving a review of the actual chair. It works for me in some ways, in other ways it does not. And I have a scheduled physical therapy appointment to do a complete mobility assessment so that I can get a better chair that Medicare will cover for me. So anyways, I'm going to go through this chair. It's from Culver Mobility. I actually bought it on Amazon for $888 that I saved up for. And I was looking for something lightweight. It is lightweight. It folds up pretty easy. And that's probably something I can't really show you how it works because I don't do that. My sons do it. However, it's really meant for, I would say, indoors. Outdoors, I've used it, but it doesn't really like the sidewalk. But sometimes I have no choice. So, without further ado, we're going to go over my Culver Mobility wheelchair. So, the gray pillow is something that I added to that because it doesn't have lumbar support. It has, it's breathable, the seat and the cover of the seat is breathable. I've actually put pillows or a blanket over it. Excuse me. The other thing is this is the joystick, but where a lot of joysticks that I have seen come out are part of the arm, this sticks out. You attach it or you not attach it, but it sticks out. And I must say, this knob here, every time I go around a corner, this is the thing that wants to get stuck. It does have manual brakes for this, but I don't have enough strength in my hands to actually use those. It has a seatbelt, but because of this, I keep it strapped and not around myself, because if I fall, and I have done this, I have fallen, I don't want the wheelchair to be attached to me. I did one time fall with this wheelchair. The tire got stuck in a crack and I fell, and the wheelchair fell forward on top of my legs. If I had the seatbelt on, it would have been still attached to my body, and I would not have been able to arrange myself to get out of the seatbelt. So yes, it's pros and cons, but I must say that when this is on its electric setting, it has a manual setting where you can move the chair. It's like in basically neutral. I have been, when I've gotten into the chair,
or getting out. And if I forget to shut off, let's see right here, let me turn it back on to electric. Here, so it goes on, and there are times I left it on and I just go to stood up and it would keep moving forward. Not a feature I like. Even when the joystick is not being touched. There are times when I park and then all of a sudden the chair will jerk to the right and kind of move on itself. I don't know why it does that. I'm hoping with when I get a newer chair, it'll be better. Just like any other chairs. I'll put it back on manual. There's this switch here, sets it to manual. I can move it back and forth easy. If it's on the joystick, you can only move it through the joystick. You can move it the other way, but it's difficult, and you don't really want to do that. It has this is where the battery is. The battery and the electric components. And you can plug it in right here. It's got wheelie bars, and yes, they do work. I've inadvertently tried them. Handles, of course, if you want to use this as a transport, you would put it in neutral. Of course, I have my sign on there, and I also use that for my scooter as well. The tires, they're fine, but they are not all-terrain tires. They slip and slide in the snow and ice, and you're really not supposed to go out when it's snowing or drive through snow. What I don't like about these, and not all chairs have to have this, where if you go backwards, the chair or the wheels get caught, and forward they go like all around. And and this is the footstool, I've had this come down, and if I have my feet right here and I'm going backwards, if my feet just hang over just a little bit, they get caught right in this. And I can't always feel my feet, so that's one of my issues. Under here, this mechanism, you would pull this up and be able to fold up the chair. I don't have the strength to do that, but you can see that here. You would just have to make sure that these wheels are straight when you do so, and that this part is up. And if you just look here, this is all the times I've actually hit something. Usually a door, wall, something to that effect. Thing with the battery, and this is underneath, is that the battery is heavy, so the weight is in the back of this wheelchair. It's like having rear wheel drive. But if you're going up an incline and you have to distribute your weight, so a lot of times when I'm sitting in this chair, I have to lean forward in order, even a small incline. If I am going down a slope, I put it on slow motion, or slow. There's three speeds. The only one I recommend if you want to use the fastest one, there's 3 sets. Around the house I use 1. Outside, sometimes 2 in the store, and I can kind of control the speed. Even if it's at that, you can just, depends on how much you move the joystick. And the third one, unless you are doing a straightaway, I would not recommend using that. The third one gets you up to about 3.5 miles per hour, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're in a wheelchair, that's a pretty good speed, even though other people who are standing behind you don't think you're going fast enough. Anyway, so the issues with me for this chair, like I said, pros and cons. It's helped me get around my house, no problem. We've had to move furniture and things like that to be able to get my chair around. I've had to maneuver my room a few times so that I can actually get to my bed, get to the bathroom, go in and eat dinner in my chair. and things like that. This is just a thing I ordered on Amazon. It's got pockets. It's not like the best thing, but I put in just like tissues, and it's got pockets and a zipper. I wouldn't put any important stuff in here, but like tissues, extra face masks, things like that. Sometimes I use these Velcro straps that actually came from my camera accessory kit, and use them for my grabber when I need to. This is just a regular pillow, but it makes it more comfortable. And as you can see, the weight is in the back. So if you're going incline, you lean forward, unless you have something, maybe something on your lap, to move forward. I wish this had a tray that could be an attachment. It does not. I use like TV trays for bed, like bed trays, so you can eat, but I don't normally eat in bed unless it's just snacks or something. So this is this particular chair. Would I buy it again? No. Do I need to use it? Yes, probably more than I have to, at least until I can get another chair. If the other chair I have is heavy and not, if the other chair I have is heavy and not easily something you can put in like the trunk of a car, then this would have to be used so I could go to stores and things like that, because it is an issue. I'd like to go outside. I'd like to go for walks with my son on trails, but this is not the ideal thing for that. Even my mobility scooter does not have the best traction. I've gotten stuck in the snow and had to use my feet, which don't always work, in order to get unstuck. So this is my review of this particular chair. It's good for around the house. Just you have to really work at it in order to figure out its good pieces and bad pieces. I have added, this here, I added the mount for my camera. It's just part of it has a Velcro strap, so when I go out I can use this if I use this chair. The other accessory is that cup holder. I always have to have a drink with me, so that is very helpful. It just straps right onto that. And there are other accessories that you can use that are generic and may be able to use for this. A bag on the back, something like that, but it gives you a little bit of independence, but it still makes me nervous ever since I had it fall on me. So this has been Amy Shannon. Just a quick, you'll see some more videos of me doing, showing workarounds of how to get into places, out of places. I have some, I'm waiting to see if I get any responses from any of the letters I sent out. I just sent them out last week. So actually I sent them out on Monday, this past Monday, January 6th. I sent them out in the mail. That's the day I went to visit my dad, so that's how I remember that. See what happens. As I get responses, I will of course share them. And really, I could use your support. I'm not asking for money. I'm just asking for support for my cause. For this cause, I think it will benefit more people than it. I think it will benefit more people, especially those who have problems with mobility. Even if you have someone, an aide with you, and they're pushing your wheelchair or helping you, they can't always get the door and push you in at the same time,
or wheelie in, pushing sounds wrong, but I know it's hard. And I realized it took me some soul searching this morning. I don't like being angry, and I've been angry the last few days, frustrated by a lot of stuff going on, and and people being not seeing the truth that's right in front of their eyes. But and I don't like feeling that way. Uh, so I hope that these videos help someone, and maybe sometime I just keep pushing at it. Someone will actually listen, contact me, and say, "Hey, what do you want to do?" I already know what I want to do. This has been Amy Shannon from Exposed Mobility Impaired Denied. As always, be safe and be well. Thank you.